The salty air whipped at their faces as José Salvador Alvarenga and Ezequiel Cordoba cast off from the coast of Mexico. It was November 17, 2012. They were embarking on what should have been a routine fishing trip. Little did they know, fate had a different plan. Their small fiberglass boat, barely 20 feet long, sliced through the waves. The engine hummed, a familiar lullaby promising a bountiful catch. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the water, the wind picked up. The sea, once a tranquil companion, transformed into a raging beast. The sky darkened ominously, mirroring the growing fear in their hearts. The storm struck with a vengeance, unleashing its fury upon the small vessel. Waves crashed over the bow, tossing the boat about like a toy. Alvarenga and Cordoba fought valiantly against the tempest, their bodies battered, their spirits tested. Despite their desperate efforts, the storm proved relentless. Their engine, choked by the relentless water, sputtered and died. They were at the mercy of the unforgiving sea. Adrift and alone, they braced themselves for a fight for survival. The storm raged for days, tossing their small boat across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. When the skies finally cleared, they found themselves adrift in a watery wilderness. Gone was the familiar coastline of Mexico. In its place stretched an endless horizon, a constant reminder of their isolation. Fear gnawed at their resolve. They had meager supplies, a few gallons of water, a small ice chest with their lunch and their fishing gear. Hope, however, flickered within them. They were seasoned fishermen, accustomed to the sea's capricious nature. They would survive. They had to. Days bled into nights. The scorching sun beat down relentlessly. They rationed their food and water, each meager bite a precious commodity. They fished with desperate hope, their lines trailing in the azure depths. The ocean, however, seemed determined to test their limits, offering only sporadic catches. Hunger became a constant companion. Their bodies, weakened by the lack of nourishment, ached with every movement. Thirst, however, proved to be their most formidable foe. The relentless sun sapped their strength, and the salt water only intensified their thirst. Desperate times called for desperate measures. They captured rainwater in every available container. Empty water bottles, plastic bags, even the upturned shell of a captured turtle. Every drop was a victory, a testament to their unwavering will to live. Their diet, dictated by the whims of the ocean, was a far cry from their usual fare. They ate raw fish, their stomachs churning at the unfamiliar taste. They caught seabirds, relishing the meager sustenance their scrawny bodies provided. Each morsel, no matter how unappetizing, was a testament to their resourcefulness, a reason to cling to hope. As days turned into weeks, then months, despair began to cast a long shadow over their small vessel. Cordoba, unable to stomach the raw food, grew weaker with each passing day. His spirit, once buoyant, began to dwindle. Alvarenga, drawing on an inner reservoir of strength, tried to keep their spirits high. He shared his dwindling rations, offered words of encouragement, and clung fiercely to the belief that they would be found. But the ocean, it seemed, was indifferent to their plight. One morning, Alvarenga awoke to find Cordoba still and lifeless. Grief washed over him, threatening to drown him in its depths. He had already lost his fishing partner, now he had lost his friend, his brother in survival. He committed Cordoba's body to the sea, a burial at sea for a man claimed by the unforgiving ocean. The vastness of the Pacific seemed to mock his solitude. Alone now, Alvarenga was tormented by thoughts of his family. He yearned for his daughter, the sound of her laughter a distant echo in his mind. He clung to the memory of her face, a beacon of hope in the face of despair. He refused to surrender. He would survive. For himself, for his daughter. He honed his survival skills, becoming a master of improvisation. He fashioned a spear from a broken oar, hunted sharks with his bare hands, and learned to navigate by the stars. He befriended a seabird, a solitary tern he named Pancho. Pancho became his companion, a symbol of hope in the vast emptiness. He talked to Pancho, shared his meager meals, and drew strength from the bird's unwavering presence.